Let me take you back in time to the point in time when Mr. Premji started the foundation, right? At that time, WIPRO was already a successful company, already one of the most successful IT businesses in the country and already one of the notable IT businesses across the world. And at that point in time, the reason to start the foundation was something very simple. And as you're aware, the foundation is funded by Mr. Premji's personal wealth. A lot of it does come from his ownership of WIPRO, but it's entirely funded by his personal wealth. Now, the reason to start the foundation at that point in time was something very simple, in which, any one of us might feel that I live in this country and I see so many issues around. There is clearly so much of development that needs to happen in every sphere. Is there a way I can contribute? Right? So I think that was the very, very simple starting point of the foundation. Then the key choice that we made at the foundation was to work on the issue of education, on the issue of improving quality of school education in India. And the heart of that choice is really, shall I say, the communication between the foundation on one hand and WIPRO on the other hand. And the heart of the choice lies in the issue that we are a nation of 1.2 billion people. We have a school education system where 1.4 million schools are there. 220 million children go to those schools. I'm not even talking about the higher education system, the university system, just the school education system. Now, while most children in villages across this country, right, they have access to a school, the quality of schooling, the actual learning that happens is far from desirable. Actually, it's very poor. 35% of children in class 5 cannot read or write. The school completion rates are in the range of 10% from grade 1 to 10. And let's forget the issues of learning, of higher order cognitive thinking like analytical skills, critical thinking, and so on and so forth. So on the whole, we have a large education system with so many students, but the learning outcomes, the quality of education is very poor. Now the thing is that if you look at it from a WIPRO standpoint, unless this quality of education system improves substantially, and this can happen only over a period of time, it can't happen overnight, unless the education system substantially improves, from a WIPRO standpoint, the sustainability of the business, and WIPRO, mind you, is a people business. It's an IT services business. It's entirely dependent on the abilities of people. So from a long-term standpoint, WIPRO's sustainability, unless the education system improves in India substantially, that's questionable. And when I say long-term, I don't mean 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I mean 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, right? On the other hand, if you look at the foundation, from a foundation standpoint, the agenda is entirely that of improving quality of school education, right? Now, it's at that fundamental level that there is a communication between WIPRO and the foundation. I'll take you to a second level on that now. And as I said, one should not construe these connections that what is the immediate connection? Changes in society don't take place in 3 months, 6 months. This is a very long-term connection issue. Now, having said that, let me take you to a relatively more immediate kind of a connection. WIPRO, as much as foundation is working on quality of school education, and the foundation is focused entirely on the rural areas. On the other hand, WIPRO is working on quality of school education, but in the urban areas. So the foundation initiatives, which are very large scale, which is across the country and in rural areas, is focused on quality of education. But similarly, WIPRO also has an initiative focused on school education, trying to improve school education, but in the urban areas. Right? So I think at a philosophical level and at a purpose level, both WIPRO and the foundation are seeking the same goal, which is for this large country with 1.2 billion people, and which will become 1.6 billion people, give it another 25, 30 years. how do we have good education? Because good education, in many senses, is at the core of development.